Hey everyone, it is Brian Kaz here, joined by my friend and business partner Sean Casey. We have another Wednesday marketing call for you. And on this call, we basically thought that we'd essentially analyze several sites. So we sent out an email a couple days back or so, basically asking for any sites that you guys would want us to look up. We got a bunch of responses back, so we certainly can't do all of them, or we'd be here for probably like a day. But I tried to pick a handful that I thought were kind of reflective, of several. So like there's several that have like a local business, so that the tips I give for one typically apply to almost all of them. There's several of you that had like e-com sites, some of you that were in like network marketing, some that were just like affiliates, some that had Shopify sites, and some that just had like general products and stuff that you sold or services. So I tried to pick a variety of different ones. We apologize ahead of time if we can't get to obviously all of them, or if yours is not included, again, because there were a lot of sites. But either way, make sure you pay attention and listen to the tips and stuff given, because you'll find that 9 times out of 10 the tips that are basically given to one probably applies to you or tons and tons of other sites as well. So pretty exciting call. And as always, if you have any questions or anything like that, feel free to ask those in the chat as well. So since we'll have some time at the end for the Q&A, and of course it's on top of the cash giveaway as well. So without further ado, we can get the show on the road here. So again, welcome to the Wednesday webinar here. And again, it's every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, which is right now. We'll have a live training and/or Q&A call for our members. And again, as I said, usually every few months or so, we have a live website analysis one, which we're doing right here. If you're here or you're registered for the series, you'll get a reminder each week, so you don't forget. But if you can't make it, I will have the recordings in the members area within a day of any of the calls under the training tab on the left side navigation bar. It will have the most recent call at the very top. So this call should be there probably by the end of the day, or if not, for sure by tomorrow morning, you'll see it there. And if you want a chance to win $100 today, make sure to join our free Facebook group, which you can get to at getwebfire.com/FB group. Just click join if you're not a member there yet. Again, it's free. And Sharon will approve you usually within like a couple minutes if it's around right now. And towards the end of this call, we'll give you a chance to win $100, and I'll give you instructions on how to do that in just a bit. But you have to make sure that you're a member of that free group there first. Make sure to join that now if you are new to these calls. Now let's move on to a training for the week where we'll review several websites live. And we're not just reviewing them from like an SEO point of view, it's more so from like a business point of view with some SEO tips and stuff as well there. So we want to make sure that not only do you set yourself up the best to rank and such, but also at the same time to take advantage of the traffic that you get, regardless if it's free traffic through SEO or other methods, or paid traffic, or whatever it is you might do right there. So again, as I said, even if we don't get to your site, we pick several that are basically reflective of a wide variety of similar sites. So make sure that you pay attention to the tips, as they'll probably apply to most of you. And without further ado, we will get the show on the road with that. So we're just going to pause the screen. I'll switch over to my browser, and we can start going through some sites and doing some tips and such. Alrighty. All right. So the first site that I picked right here, it sells basically products and stuff that like health products, and it seems to be stuff that is meant to basically make you feel younger or help with the longevity as they call it, or help you live a longer life, anti-aging, stuff like that. And one of the first issues that I kind of see with that is, it says, longevity Australia, but it says, shop and ship worldwide, Australia, New Zealand, or New Zealand, USA, yada yada. So I'm not sure why you're bringing it specifically to Australia right there if you ship worldwide right there. There could be reasons for that. Maybe most of your sales you focus on Australia, whatever the reason. I'd have to know a bit more of that. I also think you're basically wasting a ton of space right here. Like, I can guess that the product has something to do with staying young based upon the name at the top. But you don't really say anything about the product on the top half of the site right here. You basically say shop and ship worldwide. Well, shop and ship what? You have to look at the site more. And in this day and age, your site really needs to grab the attention of a person within seconds. You have a matter of like a few seconds to grab the attention and to get them to really understand what the offer is, what the product is, what the benefits are. And I don't get any benefits yet at all. I mean, if I'm super interested and I know of your site ahead of time, I might scroll down and check it out more. But right here, it's just kind of like a bunch of wasted space. And also, I'm not quite sure. It seems like contradictory to say shop and ship worldwide, but then say shop locally right now. So I mean, obviously we could click that and then, loads this site where it says shipping worldwide. But then it sounds like I have to pick the individual country to start with. So I'm not sure if maybe the products change based upon the country. So if I click here on the US, I get an error site. So it looks like there's several links viewers that don't even work there. So not only is it kind of confusing, obviously there's some issues right there to start with. But going back to the main site right here, if you scroll down past that, you see there's a free health exam right there, which I think is a good idea, except when you click that, it asks for a bunch of info just to suggest what products you should have. And that's if you're reliant upon phone sales or something like that, great. But you're basically asking for a lot of info just to tell them what products you want. It's kind of like saying, hey, tell me a bit about or take a quick survey to see what products we have that you might need. But then if we ask them for like their name, their email, their phone number, and a bunch of other stuff, it kind of the more information you ask of a person, the less likely they are to follow through on it. And as for the survey itself, it's definitely on the long side. You're asking a bunch of questions. That's not necessarily bad. Yeah, so that's not bad there. But I would almost, if you're in control of the survey, which you might not be, this might be through basically the dealer, I would almost just skip most of the info, ask for just an email to start with, and then maybe at the very end of the results, basically ask them for their name and their phone if they want like a free consultation or a free report or anything, like that right there. Or have them take basically the survey, and then at the very end ask for the email and say, hey, to have it emailed, to have the results emailed to you, enter your email right here, and then suggest basically products based upon that right there. So I would just kind of simplify that down a little bit right there. And also right here, like at the top of the site, again, you want to say again what the product is, what it helps with, what are the benefits. Is it anti-aging? Is it more energy? Is it all that? You don't really know. Then you scroll down and it shows some of the products right there. And now the first one, says anti-aging healthy body pack 2. I get that that's probably some anti-aging product right there, which is okay. And when I click on it, you see a bit more info right there. All right, so it looks like it doesn't, trying to read through it. It doesn't say how long the pack lasts for. It says 90 for life, so I'm not sure if maybe that's 90 essential, you know, minerals and vitamins, or if it's good for 90 days, or what. There's one that says there's 90 tablets, one that says there's 60, so I'm not sure, you know, if this is good for 2 months or 3 months or what. Obviously, like a 2 or 3 months supply for 195 doesn't sound, you know, crazy high, but if that was only like, you know, a month's supply or less, you know, people might kind of be afraid of that price, so it needs probably a little more info right there, and probably just a bit more about like what the ingredients are or what helps. Like, you know, you see these different product names right here, but there's really not a ton of info on it. So it needs a bit more. And like, you know, a name like this, like Beyond Osteo FX Liquid, you know, I think it just needs a bit more of a description about, again, what it basically is, what it will basically help with. You know, it says it helps a bit with bone and stuff like that. But yeah, just it seems like the descriptions and the benefits are lacking just a bit, especially in the titles right here. Like right here, what exactly is, you know, it looks like it's almost like a juice mix, but what are the benefits of that? Sure, I could click on it and probably find out a bit more, but, you know, maybe have a bit more in the title about what that is, you know, right there. And then, of course, for every individual product page that you have, you want to make sure to optimize the individual pages as well. And then also, from the description that the person sent, it sounded like they were doing paid ads and actually doing somewhat decent off of that right there. Like I think, if memory serves, and I could be wrong, I think they said it was like they're paying like $11 per action, and I don't know if they meant per buyer. If so, that'd be great right there. I don't know if it's per lead. You know, I don't know the numbers of like what's what there. But one thing that you want to basically do is, you know, if you're paying for ads, you don't want to have a page that's generic like this. You'll want to have a page like either like a squeeze page or a page specifically to take the free health evaluation, or a page to a specific product, like the anti-aging healthy body pack. Have it be specifically on just that, where you have a squeeze page and a specific offer rather than, hey, here's my store, buy anything that you want. So usually you want to send them to a specific page, you know, right there. And the other thing too is, my impression was this might be like a bit of like a network marketing type thing, because when I click opportunity, it looks like you can sign up for some kind of membership deal right there, and you know, you have to basically analyze where you make more money from. Is it from selling the products? Is it from signing up, you know, other members? And with that, that's one where if you realize, hey, you know, you make more when you sign up, you know, other members and stuff, you know, you could focus more on that, whether it be through paid ads or SEO. If it was SEO, I'd probably focus on basically talking a bit about, you know, why this is a good setup, how it pays well. If you're trying to sell the product and the opportunity at the same time, I would also look into getting out on social media a bit. Like if you take the product yourself, describe how you feel. Maybe show off a bit of the product, you know, on Facebook and Twitter and stuff, and talk basically about, you know, let's say the benefits. Like let's say the tangerine powder mix drink. Then, at least I think that's what it was. You know, let's say that helps give you energy or whatever it might be. You can talk about how, you know, hey, this you know, this has been like a great replacement for coffee for you, or a great way to get you going in the morning, or whatever the benefit is. I'm not sure exactly what that is, but you can also talk about how it tastes great at the same time, and just get that out there on the social media side too, and that will get a decent amount of interest right there. So with that, I'll kind of jump on over to the next site, and Sean, unless you have any quick thoughts on it.
Sorry, I had to unmute myself. I think you've done an admirable job of getting to the root of all that.
Alrighty. Yeah, so the next one I thought was a pretty interesting one. It was I might be saying the name wrong, but it was Kofig, which appears to be a coffee alternative or coffee substitute, which I thought was pretty interesting. I actually didn't know that there was such a thing, but then again, I'm not a coffee drinker myself, so I probably wouldn't know. But right here, it's a pretty appealing looking website to start with. But there's a few things. So if someone knows that this is an alternative to coffee, and someone's actively looking for the product, it's a decent site, looks nice and all that, but let's say you're a coffee drinker and you drink coffee every day. If you go to a site like this, you really want to know, hey, why is this better? Like it says right here, sustainable energy, and it says, I'll just get, where was that? So scroll back in the little picture here. It says way better than coffee. Well, how is it way better? Is it way better as in like it tastes better? Is it way better as in like there's more energy? Is it way better as in like this is super healthy and coffee isn't? You really don't say. You just say it's better. Trust me. But you don't say how or why. And like if people start to basically question, like, well, are they saying the taste is better? Are they saying it's healthy? You start to basically bring up a lot of unnecessary questions. Like people might say, okay, maybe some might say, hey, I'm assuming that this person's saying that this coffee substitute is way better in terms of the healthiness, but maybe it tastes like crap and tastes nothing like, basically coffee. So you might lose a handful of people right there. Whereas some might say, hey, maybe they're saying it tastes way better, but doesn't have the energy or any of that, or they don't really know. So I would maybe make that a bit more clear right there. And immediately right here, you kind of jump down to, looks like, video testimonials, which I love the fact that you have some right there, as well as you have some comments and stuff like that. But I would also take like just some space here to just list off some benefits. Like I don't know what the benefits are, and like just list off basically some bullet points saying, and I don't know if this is true, but let's assume that this is. You could say, hey, tastes the same or better than coffee, has the same amount of energy or X amount more energy than coffee. And I dived a bit more into this, and it looks like this is also looks like on your meta tags you target caffeine free. So I'm assuming that this is caffeine free, but also gives energy. And that's a big point that you're not saying here. You target it in your tags, but you don't mention it anywhere, at least on the main area, right here. It looks like you have a tiny line right here, but the chance that I'll see, weaned away from, caffeine, is very slim. You want to have a big bullet point or headline that lists off, hey, this is caffeine free while still giving you the same energy. A coffee alternative by still tastes just as great. And just again, list off all the main benefits right there towards the very top, so it's very, very obvious, what that is. And I know a lot of sites, love to have these images and stuff, and I'm not necessarily against them, but I think if you have like one main one and just list off basically all the benefits right there, like list off, how it can be hot or cold. List off how it's 100% natural. List off, how it gives like tons and tons of energy and, caffeine free. That'd be where I would start right there. And now looks like you have some parts where you list off basically benefits and stuff like that, and that's great. But again, you want to capture the attention of people right there. And then the other thing, if you click buy, I would also have, now it's nice that you have buy right there. What I would do is I would highlight buy to start with, because you want to highlight the buttons that you want people to take action on. So highlight that to start with, and maybe have like a button down here, because if they're reading the site, there's nowhere to, I mean, there's the buy now right here, but they have to kind of scroll down a bit. I'd almost move like a buy now button around here too, to make it a bit easier to click. And you think that people will eventually look and find a buy now, but you'd be amazed at the increase in conversion rates you can get by making the button easier to basically find and see. But when I click buy, it's loading a bit slow here. So hopefully, there it goes right there. One thing I noticed right here is that you have a bunch of different like boxes and packages and stuff. And That's all great. And it looks like some you talk about, you say individual travel bags. I assume that means like an individual cup, but it's not really crystal clear. So is that like, do you need one packet for a cup, I assume? Do you need it for, a pot? I assume it's for a cup versus a pot. And there's a few right here that don't really say what it is. Like right here, it looks like you have a special sale, but I'd say like makes X amount of cups. And also the same thing you say, is a bit confusing. Like right here, you say tea bag. So is it tea? Is it coffee? Is it I just be careful of how you word that, because if you're trying to go after a coffee drinker, make sure you stick with that right there. So yeah, and then again, just clarify like how much a bag like this makes in terms of drinks and stuff. And I would also like list off too. You have like a bunch of options, but it's confusing as to which one would be like the best deal. Like I don't know how to really compare like a large bag compared to like a bunch of smaller bags in one. And maybe have like the best deal versus like the cheapest one to get into. That would be a start right there. I would also maybe have, if they're brand new, maybe have like a beginner pack that they could try. So if they're not wanting to buy like a giant bulk, then have them try like a beginner pack, and then what you could do as a possible upsell is if they try a beginner pack for, let's say, even like the 12 bucks or so, just to basically try it. As an upsell, you could say, hey, for X amount a month, which you want to make it a discount, you'll ship them a new package, each month for basically like a month's supply. You'll give them a discount, and they get that first month. It won't bill until a month later, so it's part of the beginner pack. So they have some time to try it out, and if they like it, they'll pay you each month for a long time if they like it then. And then the other thing I saw too is the title tag on your site, so on the main site right here. It was, I can double check it real quick, but it didn't say anything about, here, we'll just run it through Webfire really quick. We'll say coffee alternative. Even though it's not the keyword, I mean, there's several other keywords you could try to shoot for, but we'll just do that in the meantime. But I saw that the keywords in your title was just like, it said like coffee, or actually, let me check real quick. I'll just pull it up really quick. Yeah, so it was coffee, fig, coffee. So if someone is searching for fig coffee, there's your tag does a pretty good job of having at least fig coffee in it. But if someone doesn't know about fig coffee, because like a guy like me, even though I don't drink coffee, I never knew that there was such a thing. I'm guessing a lot of people might look for, alternative to coffee or coffee substitute or some term like that. So I would definitely put that somewhere in your title tag itself and try to target terms like that. I'd also try to have like several different blog posts or articles or videos where you talk about the benefits, why it's a good substitute, and all that right there. And also focus a lot on the taste and stuff too. And again, I like that you have the testimonials and stuff at the bottom right there, and hopefully they touch base on that a bit. And see, it's almost done analyzing the site there. So we'll, as it wraps up that, Sean, is there anything else you want to add on this one?
No, one day I should drink coffee. I actually, maybe 10 years ago is the last time I had a cup of coffee, because even with tons of milk and sugar, it was horrible. But Guillermo says, thank you for analyzing our website.
Oh, and one thing too, I think this was the one that had, if you just went to the site, I think it had a pop-in. It might be a different one. I'll check. Maybe it wasn't this one. Check it was this one. One of these had a pop-in on it that I wasn't a fan of. Um, maybe it only pops in for the first time, but one of them was, I'm not sure which one. It might just be, it may have just popped for the first time, but one site had like a pop-up that showed up the first time I went to it, and it said, join my monthly wellness newsletter. And it didn't really give any actual benefits or reason why other than that. And anytime you ask for a person's email, you want to be crystal clear on why they should, because, you know, even though you're only asking for an email, it's not like you're asking them to fork over a credit card. People only give an email if they have a very good reason to. Because again, even though it's super easy, it takes like seconds, it takes work and basically effort to type that in, hit submit and all that. So you want to make sure that instead of saying, hey, get you know, a free wellness report, give them some actual benefit, like, hey, you know, get a free report on how 3 simple changes can help you with this, this, and that. Or hey, get you know, some kind of benefit like that where you give them a specific benefit. You want to be as specific as possible with that right there. And right here, we just ran the website analysis. So yeah, right here, here's basically the title that I'm talking about. You don't say anything about it being an alternative to coffee, but ironically, at the same time, for the term coffee alternative, you'd have a good chance of ranking for that keyword if you were to target it on your site and in your title. So I would say, you know, Cofig, Fig Coffee dash the revolutionary coffee alternative, or something like that. You talk in the description tag about it being a coffee replacement and all that, but I'd also mention that in the title tag itself, because that will give you a better chance of ranking. And yeah, but then it looks like, you know, there's a few other things, like you don't have a sitemap, you don't have a schema, a few easy things that you could fix up right there. And I think, again, trying to really go after the coffee alternative type terms could help you a great deal there. And I'd also not only look into that on the SEO side, but also on the paid ad side too. I mean, that's one where not a lot of people might, you know, would know that there is an alternative. And that's the kind of thing that if you target people that love coffee, you know, that would be a good start, I think, right there, to have them just try out this, you know, alternative. If you talk about basically what all the benefits are, how they don't lose much, and whatnot. So that was that site, and I'll move on to the next one. This one right here was called, it was rentadirector.com, and it's a bit confusing. It's about a product on how to be a more highly effective leader. Now, you know, I don't know offhand, but the term director, I don't know if in the UK or Australia if it's used differently. I know it can be like a board member or like a director of a company, but I'm not sure if people would think of it more like someone that directs a movie, because that'd be a very awesome domain for rentadirector.com. But when I see this site, like, I really don't know what this is. Like, I have zero clue. Like, sure, you say helping you become a highly effective leader, entrepreneur, you know, and you know, yada yada yada, but you don't really say how or what the benefits are. You know, it's kind of like it's too broad of a claim, I think. It'd be kind of like saying, you know, if you're selling, let's say, a product on how to be a better athlete of some kind, you can't just say how to be a better athlete. You know, you have to be specific, like how to increase your vertical, how to increase, you know, your run, how to increase, you know, your mile speed or your 100-meter or whatever it might be. Or if you're, you know, to have a product for golfers or tennis players, could be how to improve, you know, your golf swing, or how to improve your forehand or your serve, or something like that. And in this case, because you're trying to go after leaders and managers and stuff like that, maybe list off like what the benefits are, like what like, why do they want to be a better, more effective leader? Is it more profits that they can make? Like, what exactly are the benefits? People don't just wake up and say, hey, I want to be a better leader and a better manager, and they don't really look for oftentimes a lot of stuff on that. They look more for, hey, how can I increase the bottom line? How can I make more? You know, so kind of go back to that. And this graphic and stuff, you know, I really don't, it just seems confusing. So it looks like, you know, I really, you have the red part here, and I don't know what is going on. And I'm confused. I'm guessing a lot of people are. And then I see you have an opt-in right here. And you say experience the 360-degree value creation model, which reveals how 3 companies you know, basically had issues, how they failed, and how it led to, you know, one company's growth of 20-fold. So what I like and dislike about that right there, I dislike the start where it says experience the 360-degree value creation model, because again, that's the first thing I look at, and then my first thought is, I don't know what the hell that is or what that means. The second part, which doesn't stand out nearly as much because, you know, it's in black, it's not in red like this, is you know, basically the 9 things that led to one company growing 20 times. You know, and that's a huge deal. If, like, any business guy would say, hey, if I could increase business by basically 20-fold, I'd be interested in seeing that's how. So I'm very, very interested in seeing, hey, what are those 9 things that led to a 20-fold increase? And I'm sure if we asked anyone on this call right here, hey, would you be interested in learning about the, you know, 9 things that led to one company, you know, basically growing 20 times over? I'm sure the majority of people would say, yeah. Whereas if I ask, hey, who here is interested in the 360-degree value creation model, people be like, I don't know. What is it? So that's one thing that I would change around right there, because that's, again, impressive by itself, but you kind of just don't really point that out. I would also probably eliminate the name unless you really need that, because again, the less information you ask, the more people will opt in. So if you really use the name and need it, great, that's okay. Otherwise, I just have the email. And also you say right here, you say leadership mastery, get access now. Well, I thought you just said it's a 360-degree value creation model. Now you're saying it's the leadership mastery. You're confusing me, and I know a lot more about, you know, businesses and stuff and sites and stuff, and so I can't imagine how confused a random person might be that doesn't know nearly as much here, or hasn't spent nearly as much time on this site. So you want to make sure to be consistent across the board right there. And I would also, if you want them to watch a video, I would have like either the first slide or some text above it say why, because people aren't just like, man, I'm really, really, really bored. I see a video here, so I'm going to click it. I don't know why, I just feel like clicking it. You know, people don't do that. Now, if you had this that says, you know, hey, see how we you know, grew one business with, you know, 9 simple tweaks, I'd be interested in watching that. But again, this is just basically almost a blank screen that you just want people to click on without an actual reason.
Hey, Brian, let me jump in because I think this is a really important point that you're on for this site and for a lot of the sites, especially if you're going to sell information, training, software, all that kind of stuff, as opposed to a lot of products. But what you've got to figure out, and this site is a good example of, number 1, talking jargon. Number 2, trying to be like the solution to everything to everybody, and you end up without a focus. And it's hard to give up to get, but the more that you can focus on for the main problems that someone arrives at the site with, you know, if it's the people that you can most help are you're helping somebody make more money because you're teaching them how to run a more efficient company, then that's the benefit that you want to be leading in with. If it's, I'm going to make you a better leader, now, I don't know what that actually means, and what the benefits of being a better leader are, other than I'm really cool, I'm a better leader. So if you know, if the being a better leader means, hey, how to have, more productive employees who create more revenue, who do whatever, and that's because you were a better leader, then you've got to tie that in together. You've got to figure out what it is that you're giving people that are the benefits, and then lead in with those questions. But to carry this further, if you're driving traffic from a free source like Google and you want to get ranked, like if somebody searches how to be a better leader in my business, then you would want to lead them and be ranked for that phrase and lead them into a blog post or a page that's got that phrase in it. But in the same way, if you were, let's say, running a Facebook ad, it's like, attention company owners, would you like to be a better leader? Then you would want them, when they click through, to hit a landing page that says pretty much exactly that, because your conversion rate is going to be way better. But you might have another pain point that a business leader has, which is, how to get more productivity out of employees, or how to find better employees, or how to get rid of all your employees altogether, which, no offense to the employees on this call and listening to the replay, would be a wonderful thing, except you can't run a bigger business without them. Okay, but you've got to figure out what people are responding to and why they're really signing up, or what you can really help them with that they should sign up for. Okay, and target those specific things. You can't be generally like, and a lot of corporate websites that get written by corporate people tend to have this same kind of generic thing. Get a 360-degree view of the industry and learn, what other people are doing, with some, high-tech jargon language, right? It doesn't mean anything to anybody, and it doesn't solve whatever problem I'd like to have solved that I would pay you lots of money for. Okay, and now I think it's a good time for us to take a break and everybody wish Brian a happy birthday. Do you think that's a good time, Brian?
Yeah, sounds
Brian,
good.
how many years, what is it, like 57 years ago today?
34.
34. Wow, you see, you seem so old because you're so wise.
Yep. Fun.
All right. Other than that, you can go back to work now.
All right. So that's the one thing. And again, all great points that Sean said too. The other thing too is that on the testimonials that you have here, I would also there's some that are okay there, but I would also like try to get a hold of like the person right here that you help basically their business grow basically like many times over. Have them say like a brief note about that and maybe feature that there too, because that's a pretty powerful message right there. And yeah, and then after that, it's also like if your main goal is to get them to opt in, I would probably just, again, as Sean said, eliminate all this stuff right here and have like a clear message on why they want to opt in to learn basically the 9 things that a company did to help increase their growth 20 times over. You have products here, but if you're selling anything, have a button, have it stand out. Tell them where to click. Like if I click here and go to the products, it looks like you have a bunch of different things, but it's just kind of like all over, and I don't know what you want me to really do, or so it's confusing as to what you offer. So I would have just a clear focus on one main thing versus a bunch of other things. You can sell a bunch of other things, that's perfectly fine, but you want to have a clear path for each individual that to basically target first. So that's a pretty good start, I'd say, of things to basically focus on. I like the general idea of what you're trying to basically do, but I think if you just change around from having all this, just saying like, hey, learn the 9 things that one company that we helped did to help increase their growth 20-fold. That's a very much more powerful message and a simpler one to basically give. So moving on to the next one, we have this is one of the local ones here, or not here in my area, but one of we had several sites that wanted to have their site analyzed that were more of like a local business, and this is one. And this is a dentist, so it's Midwest Family dentistry.com. And clearly they're probably looking to get people that need to have a dentist. Now, I like the fact that you have the number in the corner right there. It makes it super easy for them to call you. One thing too is that, again, this is another site. It looks nice. I'm not sure you need like this huge graphic at the top right there, because again, it takes up a lot of space. You want to have like a clear message as to what you basically do. And usually for something like this, people know what a dentist does. So you don't really have to explain all that. But I would have like maybe like a few buttons right here that just kind of list off what kind of services you do or what kind of services that you specialize in. I know you listed up, I think like up here, you have like a bunch of different ones right here. And what I would make sure to basically do is like let's do maybe teeth whitening. You click on that, because that's something that a person might just search for. It looks like, right here, you talk about some general teeth whitening stuff right there. And one thing that I would do is that, I would definitely, in the title, probably mention something relevant to your location, like maybe say teeth whitening techniques used at Midwest Family Dentistry in I think it was Granite City or Highland in Illinois. I'd mention that right there because it'll give you a slightly better chance at ranking for like a term if someone were to basically type in teeth whitening service in Granite City or some term like that. So you basically talk a bit about some general stuff right there. Now I like the fact that you have additional content. That's what a lot of local sites miss, is that they don't really target specific products, and I like that you do here. So good job with that. But the one thing that I think you could maybe improve is that you talk about different kinds of techniques and methods. Well, do you do all those? What's the difference between them? Like you talk about using heat, a special light, or a laser. Well, what's the difference? Is one better or worse? Is one more expensive? Does one look whiter? Is one used in a certain case but not in another case? Maybe explain a bit more, and maybe have like mention the specific names of the treatments if they have a name. And you also mention inpatient versus outpatient. I would probably make those be like little headlines too, like say about our inpatient teeth whitening in Granite City, and then maybe have like another one about our outpatient or at-home kits that you can get at our Granite City or whatever other location, and talk a bit about what those are right there. That gives you just a few more things to rank for. And one thing I saw, I just want to show. So if you're, and this is true, like regardless if you're a dentist or a lawyer or I know there's one site that was like a air conditioning repair service. If you're trying to rank for individual products, like if you're a lawyer, you might have like 10 different things that you basically practice in. Or if you're a dentist, you might have, again, like right here, we see, tons of different things they could do, from crowns and fillings to, gum treatments to teeth whitening. There's a lot of different stuff that you can rank for that won't necessarily get a ton of traffic on a local basis, but over time, it can trickle in a lot. And you want to make sure that you have separate pages for each one, which I like that you have that right here. But one thing that I want to show off, just want to make sure I have the name. So Granite City. All right. So let's say we go to Google, and let's say you're in Granite City, and you're looking to do teeth whitening. Okay. So you might go to Google.
No, Brian, just do dentist in Granite City. Let's make it even easier, because she should dominate Granite City for dentist. I was just looking this up, so I was going to ask you to do this, and I know she doesn't. Okay, but okay, stop right there. So see how this? What? No, you're good. See the first listing, not you, everybody else. Sorry, Brian. Where it's whatever, Namio Kid Dental Care, okay, is the name of the website. See how it has Cosmetic Dentistry, Granite City, Illinois General Dentist in the name of the, in the title tag for the page? And you notice that ranks #1, okay? And then #2 has Granite City, Illinois also in the title tag, okay? All right. And then the third listing is going to be, it's the white pages or the yellow pages or the white pages, right? But she isn't ranking for a term she should rank for. And these guys are not like rocket science competition. All it's going to take is switching around some things a little bit to rank for Granite City, to rank for Highland, to create some other content pages that would separately rank for those by being focused on those. Like Brian was saying, where you've got cosmetic dentistry. When I was searching for her, I found a YouTube video that she did on fast braces technology, which presumably is something she sells. Okay, and there's a bunch of stuff that you can do, but none of this is hard. This is just the basic things that we keep telling you to do. Look at the keywords, look at what you want to rank for, look at what your competition is doing, which is not a lot. I mean, you could easily rank in the top 3 or 4 spots and get to the first spot in short order in Google for these search terms for local business, because these other guys are there simply probably because their title tags are set up that way, and really not much of any other reason.
Yep, and one thing too that I wanted to show is that, hey, it's great to try to rank for obviously the main terms, but you can also target like a dozen or more additional terms too at the same time. Like for instance, for like the teeth whitening one, you know, a term that we might do is like teeth whitening dentist, Granite City, or you know, teeth whitening procedure or service, or some term like that. I'm not sure exactly which one, but let's just go with that right there. And if we skip the ads, you know, we see here, you know, this might be it right there. I'd have to check right there, but we see one of the first ones that show up again specifically say teeth whitening, Granite City, Illinois. So again, we can see why this site ranks at the top right here. And you know, you see, you know, of the top 3, you know, 2 specifically mention teeth whitening in the title itself, including the first one. The second one is a cosmetic dentistry page, which probably talks about a lot on that page right there. And now here's your site. So you're ranked on page 1, but you're kind of like towards like the middle bottomish, you know, of the non-sponsored ads or the non-paid ads, and you have teeth whitening in the title, but you have it at like the very end. Like you have the same title tag, you know, right here. But I would almost like for an individual page, I would have the main term be at the start, like teeth whitening dentist, you know, in Granite City and Highland. Or some term like that. And I'm not quite sure if like Granite City and Highland, if they're side by side, or if they're 2 different practices that you have, or what there. But you know, I'd have to know a bit more to give you some more tips right there. But if you have that towards the start, like the main term at the start, that tends to help more than having it at the very back for a specific term that you're trying to rank for right there. So that easy change right there should help. You also want to make sure that, you know, you have a schema and stuff like that as well. But for each of these terms that you have, like we'll just do fast braces. You know, that's one. Again, you know, make sure that you try to target the city and stuff in the title, and that quick change alone, like just by adding a term like fast braces. Dash, you know, I don't know, like easy brace alternative in Granite City or some term like that up here. You know, that could help you rank well there and get on page 1. Or instead of fast braces, I would actually target, you know, if that's not a popular brand, I would target a term like, you know, like invisible braces, or, you know, brace alternative, Granite City, or some term like that that would be more likely to be searched right there. So that's a handful of tips right there that hopefully should help you get some more rankings and such there. Let's just maybe quickly glance through the rest of the site. And yeah, and I like the fact that you talk about comfort and communication and compassion. That's all great, but again, I would have this be like a bit more focused on like the services and stuff that you have, because that's what people really care about at the end of the day. All right, so now let's move on to, we'll do one more, and then we'll wrap up. So this is a Shopify type site, and you said defending the three, and I'm not quite sure what that means. I'm not like a big basketball person myself, so I'm not sure if that's a popular phrase there. If not, that might be confusing. Looks like it's a basketball shop, and looks like you have phone cases and spinners and paintings and hoops and stuff like that. I would also, instead of just throwing like a bunch of stuff together, I would probably maybe sort the stuff a bit more in a more logical way. Like you have equipment here for basically people, like you have training equipment here, but it's thrown under miscellaneous. But what I would do is I would, well, first I'd clean up the site a bit more, and I would also, like right here, if we click on any of these, let's click on this one right here. It's phone cases of specific players. But it looks like right here you have basketball cartoon, LeBron James, Kobe Bryant. But if we click on these, they appear to be different players, I think. I don't think they're just those two. Yeah. So, I would definitely, and I'm confused because if I click on a different one, it looks like I can buy, it's the same buy button in everything, so I'm not sure which one I'm buying. So that's a little confusing to start with. I like the fact that they list out, what the compatible phones are and all that. That's something that a lot of people oftentimes miss. And you have it listed off by patterns, but if I click any of these, it doesn't change the pattern. So I'm not sure, like, so it looks like if I change here, it changes the pattern, which is great. But like if let's say I'm like, I really like this guy here, I have to kind of guess what pattern that might be. Like I might think like, oh, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Maybe he's pattern 13, and I want to make sure that's 13. Oh, looks like I was wrong there. Looks like maybe it's 12. I'm not sure. Yeah, see? Looks like you have these patterns, but there's no logical, like, if I just click one, it doesn't actually change that. So you'll lose a ton of sales there because no one will know what the hell they're actually buying. And it looks like it's like almost a guessing game to guess which is which. So that makes it super hard to actually buy to start with. The other thing too, looks like you only have 2 of the names up right here. Is there a reason why you don't have like a separate product for maybe each player? Because like if someone really likes a certain player, like let's say LeBron James, they're probably looking specifically for a LeBron James phone cover versus just a bunch of random players right there. So make specific product pages probably for each one right there. The other thing too is, I don't know how you pick these products. I don't know if you found them online and just thought, hey, this looks nice, I'll try to sell this, or if you have any indication that they sell. Like, I don't know if you found these on AliExpress. I don't know if you've done any research as to what sells. But I would first, look around online and see, what appears to be selling well. Like, if you go to AliExpress, you can sort by the popularity or the best sellers to see what sells for any keyword. If you go to Amazon, you can get a pretty good indicator based upon the sales and reviews of what seems to be popular. Like maybe this is super popular, but because you don't really do much to advertise that or push traffic to it, you might not get the results that you're basically hoping for. The other thing too, like my first thought is something like this would probably be killer to do some paid ads to on Facebook, because I think that's pretty cool right there. It's like a laundry bag basketball hoop thing. That's kind of a clever idea, and that's the kind of thing that my guess is if you advertise that on Facebook, you probably could get some decent sales from that. I don't know what your raw costs are or anything like that, but I could see like a lot of parents thinking, wow, I always yell at my kid to like, throw the laundry in, or throw their dirty laundry in the bag and blah blah. This is a cool way where it's like a fun activity, and I could see a lot of people loving that idea. And it's also the kind of thing that you don't normally find at a store. Like I've never seen that product at a store. And that seems much more unique and cool to me, and especially if you're doing paid ads or you're trying to drive traffic, the coolness factor or the uniqueness factor can go a long way. So I maybe pick like a handful of products, maybe test out some paid ads directly to the product itself, not to the general page. I know a lot of people tend to like drive paid ads to a general store that sells everything. That's usually a bad idea. You want to go to a specific page with a specific offer, and if you want to do like from like an SEO point of view, specifically target.
God bless you.
What's that?
Yes.
Oh, are you talking, Sean?
Sorry, didn't realize I was unmuted.
No worries. And like this is one too that I would probably you say hamper hoops basketball laundry bag. Yeah, I'm not sure that's the best keyword. It's not bad, but like maybe I do like laundry bag basketball hoop, because that sounds like much better and might be more of a search term that people would actually use. Whereas hoops basketball seems like you almost have it backwards a bit right there. But I would definitely try some paid ads to some of the cooler products like this, because this is the one where if you had like a younger kid that was interested in basketball, or even if he wasn't, this seems like a pretty cool gift. But at the same time, it serves like a purpose where you can get them to throw basically their laundry in the bag right there, or the bin. So that's a pretty cool idea right there. So that's one of the things I would definitely try to test out. And also the same thing, like, again, I'm not sure why you pick these products, so I want to make sure that, again, you did the research to make sure that these are ones that sell. Like, for instance, let's just go to, here, I'll just go to AliExpress.com real quick. So I see like right here, you're selling a bunch of basketball products. So let's just type in basketball and see. And we can search, let's search then by popularity. So we see right here that some of the best sellers, so we see some knee braces seem to sell well. This is one thing that you do appear to have on your site, so that's good right there. And it looks like that sells for basically $1.50. And don't know what and you sells for $6 right there, so that's not bad at all. Decent profit right there. But yeah, I mean, I would probably, this is like another thing that you could possibly try some paid ads to and stuff like that. Looks like knee braces might be like another one. But yeah, just I'd say just do like a little bit of research, see what appears to sell. And you just click on basically orders right here, and you get an idea of what's selling and what's not right there. So yeah, there's some oddball stuff you probably wouldn't know or wouldn't even think of. Basketball laundry. So I didn't see your thing here. Basketball hamper. Anyway, so don't see that one on there, but again, you can search around, see what products appear to sell or don't sell, and get just, again, a pretty good idea of stuff that you could basically target. And then always on any store, target individual products when at all possible right there. And yeah, so any other tips based on this one, Sean. And then also, of course, you want to make sure that you target the keywords that you're trying to rank for really well right here, because this is the most important part, in the title. So you want to make sure that's in the title tag. You want to make sure that the images you have image alt tags and stuff relevant to that. But I would pick, again, just a few of your best products, and also try to look at some paid ads, or even like videos and articles and stuff on, like why this is helpful or good, or why it's good to train, or maybe even a video of how it works and why. And you could do like a YouTube clip, like easiest free throw training, and just kind of show off and talk a bit about that right there, to get some rankings and have a quick offer where they could buy it for $6 right there. The other thing too is, if this is free shipping, make sure you mention that right here. If it's not, that's fine too, but my impression was it was. So if so, make sure that you actually mention that. And if it's 3 different color options, you don't appear to even have a way for them to pick a color right here. So again, you'll lose some guys right there that might say, hey, I want the black one, but I don't really know what's up with that. So again, there's a few things on your site that seem super confusing, and the more confusing any product is, even a minor thing, you'll lose a lot of sales. So Sean, with that, any last minute advice before we go back to the PowerPoint?
No, I think you should do everything you just said and have it done 45 minutes.
All right. Yeah, so lots of stuff for you guys to start on right there. So I'm just going to go back to the slide now. All right, so we had the live website analysis right there. And again, if yours wasn't picked this time, there's nothing against you. It's just that we had a lot of options. So I tried to pick like a variety of ones. But we'll have future calls as well, and possibly we'll see if we can squeeze some more in one of the next few calls as well. So with that, guys, just as a quick reminder as well, there's some free software that you can take advantage of right here, just at bizfire.com/survey. And at the end of basically using that tool right there, it will also have some additional software that you can get for free. We'll have an ad at the very end of this survey for some even more free software to help you build kind of mind maps and funnels and flow charts to play around, with your business models and stuff like that. So make sure to go to bizfire.com/survey to get that free software right there. And with that, if there's any other questions, you can feel free to ask those now. And then in the meantime, you can partake in our cash giveaway as well. You have to go to getwebfire.com/FB group. If you're not a member yet, just click join. It's free right there. Sharon will approve of you usually within like a minute or two, as long as it's like right now on the call. And basically, Sharon has a post towards the very top that asks what you thought of today's call. And if you leave a comment within that post, we'll pick a random comment in about maybe within 5 minutes or so. We'll pick a random comment, and we'll PayPal them $100 cash today. So make sure that you leave a comment and try to make sure it's within the post that Sharon's asking what you thought of to today's call. Oftentimes we get guys that post like outside of that and on other posts, and it gets like really confusing and hard to properly count all those. So try to post within that, and only post once. So don't post like 5 times to try to increase your chances or anything like that, because that's not fair to everyone. But again, just go to getwebfire.com/FB group, and we'll pick a winner in just a few minutes right here. So, and Sean, with that, if there's any questions or stuff that you've seen that have popped up, feel free to ask those out loud, and we'll do the cash giveaway soon then.
Well, Alan says it's the best webinar of the month, and I have to ironically mention that it is the first webinar of the month. So you're absolutely right, but appreciate your enthusiasm. He's got some changes to make, and he's on the way off to make those. So that's great. So we're all good. I think for the most part we have we've answered all the questions, or I was typing in answers. But one of the questions that did come up when I was talking about the dentist was, if you have a dentist, for example, or a local business, and but let's use the dentist. The dentist has at least 2 main cities that she draws from, Granite City and Highland, because those specifically were listed on the website. And there's probably other cities around there, and somebody's asking, can you have several pages where you're targeting content and the title tags and everything else for all these different areas? Can you have, Granite City Cosmetic Dentist and Highland, Illinois Cosmetic Dentist, and then Granite City Dentist and Granite City Braces and Granite City Fast Braces and all these different pages? And the answer is yes. Because, do you have to link all those from the top of your homepage? No, that's what your sitemap is for. You don't have to link all those pages directly from your homepage, but you want your sitemap for those pages so that Google understands the relationship of them on your site, and you can set up your sitemap and manage it all from in Webfire. It's very easy to do. We just do it automatically. And then every time you create those pages, you want to use this site submission tool so that you ping Google and others to tell them that those pages exist. But when you go search sites that are well done, or when you go search in Google and find sites that are well done, you'll notice that they've got lots of pages made for all these different things. Because why do you just want to rank for one municipality when you could rank for 10 or 15 or 20 all around to be drawing in business and getting customers that are worth a lot of money to you? And you've only got to do all this work one time and get yourself set up one time. It's a great way to do it. It's very commonly done. Just most people don't realize it's being done, because when you're searching for Granite City Dentist and you get the page that says Granite City Dentist and you go to Laney, you don't realize everything that went into you just finding the Granite City Dentist. Okay, so it's good strategy. Works on a regular basis pretty much everywhere for everything.
Yep, and with that, I just switched over to the Facebook page. So, Sean, there's no more questions or anything?
No, because
right.
we gave so many answers, we didn't need questions.
All right, so we'll do the giveaway. I'll give you maybe 10 more seconds, and then we'll pick a winner. So again, leave the comment within this post right here where Sharon's asking what you thought of today's call. And guys, I appreciate all the happy birthdays and stuff. So it's always appreciated right there. I see a lot of you said that, so thanks. Much appreciated. And yeah, so maybe do a countdown of 10, then we'll give some cash away. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, half, fourth, and 0. All right, I'll just refresh the page really quick, just in case. All right, so we got, oops, there we go. All right, so just in case, we'll check if anyone's outside of that, just in case. All right, a couple of you posted on last week's one, but that's okay. I'll count those. I'll count the ones outside. That's another question. All right, so we have 1, 2, 3 outside, plus 3 plus 50 right now. Someone's typing. I'll let whoever. Okay. If you're typing, I'll give you 5 seconds to wrap up.
Yeah, let's see how fast I can type happy birthday.
4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Done. All right. All right. So 3 plus 56 now. All right, so whoever's typing, again, just wrap it up right now because we're about to actually draw. Give you another 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. So 3 plus 56 would be 59. And Sean, you guessed it right last time. What do you think it is this time?
13.
13, all right. So,
strong affirmative answer, putting it out to the universe.
All right, all right. So you guys can see this is completely random. I know last time Sean actually guessed.
Didn't guess.
Right.
It wasn't guessing,
So.
Brian. It's only guessing when you get it wrong.
27. 27. You're off by times 2.
No, you're off by 14. I was right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
The funny part is your screen isn't even changing for me, so.
Oh, maybe I had it paused. All right. So there, I just unpaused it maybe by accident. So as you can see there, the result is 27. Now I'm going to actually go back to counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. So, John, Lily, if this is you, or you look like this guy and you share the same name, congratulations, you are $100 richer, or you will be as soon as you give your PayPal email to Sharon. Just mention it in the chat, and she'll PayPal that over to you shortly this afternoon. So congratulations to John Lilly for being this week's Wednesday Marketing Webinar winner. So congratulations, you won $100 that will PayPal to you right after you give us your PayPal info. And with that, guys, again, we have these calls every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. So we look forward to seeing you guys next week on next week's call. And as usual, if you have any ideas or any stuff that you want us to basically cover in the training, make sure to just let us know, and we'll try to get that covered. And maybe if not, with some extra time, we'll try to do some more website analyses. If that's the stuff that you guys like, we'll try to do some more of those too. So with that, Sean, is there anything else you want to add before we wrap up?
No, just happy birthday, and
right.
everybody, thanks for being here. Thanks for taking action. Go out there and go to work.
All right. Well, thanks, and thanks again for all the birthday wishes. Much appreciated. And with that, guys, hope you can join us next week, and I look forward to seeing you then. So take care, have a great day, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.